Hello and welcome in. Mark here, aka the Markster. This is video number 57 in the FreeCAD series. In the last couple videos, we looked at the pad and revolution operations in the Part Design Workbench. Today, we're continuing looking at the Loft tool or feature or utility or operation. And today I'm using 0.19 revision 20036 on Windows 10. Let's get started. We're going to add a sketch to the XY plane. And I'll just use circles here. We need more than one sketch. We need at least two for a loft. Again, not bothering to fully constrain these sketches. Perhaps I should. And we also need to locate these sketches. This one I'll put 20 millimeters up. This one 30. And now let's do a loft. Add sections. This error was because when that dialog first opened, I had not yet selected an additional section. I had no opportunity to that point. So let's make these sketches visible so we can see where the sections are. Are you surprised at the curve here? It might not be what you want in some cases, this curvature. It might be what you want in some cases. If you don't want that, choose ruled surface. And you'll have straight edges from one section to the other. That's what the ruled surface option does. Closed option, if you had more sections, it would make sense to use that. If they were angled out here, similar to what we did in an earlier video with the Mobius strip, closing makes your last section connect back to you first. We see here properties. We can change rule from true to false. I have found if you want to change this property, do it in the property rather than reopening the dialog. I do not believe these options have any effect. When you're using the loft, it is preferred to have the same number of edges in each section, or the same number of sections in each sketch. Let's hide this body, create a new one, new sketch, XY plane again. So this time we're going to make a triangle. And a new sketch again. This time we'll make a square. this time a pentagon. And let's move this up, maybe 20 for this one. 30 for that one. So now let's make the sketches visible again. So notice you have 3 sections here in this bottom sketch, 3 line segments, 4 in the one above it, and 5 in the one above that. So where do you connect the area with 5 sections to the area with 3, to the sketch with 3? You obviously need an edge going to each of these vertices, but you cannot connect each edge, each vertex to a vertex in the triangle sketch, because you only have 3 down there and 5 up here. This means the software has to decide how to make these connections, and this means you, the designer, have less control. So how do you fix that? Let's delete that Open Sketch 3. So what we can do, if we want this same, if we want a triangle down here, we can add 2 edges in place of that first one. And we can make these 2 parallel. So now we have a choice of where this point is located. Let's put it way over here for now. And do this again. I'm just going to do these first 2 this time. So you see how now that we had another vertex, this point here connected to that vertex. And if I move this point more to the middle, this connection moved back to the middle. So I have more control over this object, because now I can determine where I want these edges to connect. We can do the same with that sketch as it connects to the next one. If you were using circles, you might elect to have multiple arcs connecting to one another to achieve this end. I haven't closed one of my sections. Let's see, one of these sketches has a missed coincident constraint. This is a good opportunity to show in the Sketcher workbench that we have a tool. I don't think we've covered this yet, and it's called Validate Sketch. And in this tool we can find hidden missing constraints. So no missing coincidences found, and we can reduce or actually increase the range of searching. So there was none here, which we knew already in this sketch. Now let's go to this next one. Validate sketch. Find. If you don't find any, increase the size. So what this is, we're looking for two endpoints that are some distance apart that are not constrained with a coincidence constraint. By making this number larger, we're increasing the likelihood of finding something that's close enough, not quite connected. So nothing there. And now let's look at number 5. And of course this is the one that's going to have that mistake. None found yet. None found yet. None found yet. No missing coincidences. Well, what's the problem? There it is. Why did it not find it? Maybe I had the wrong sketch selected. Let's see. Well, oh, I was on the wrong sketch again. This is the one that has it. Yeah, this is the one with the problem. Alright, let's try that one again. I know this tool works because I've used it before. Too far apart. If it's that far apart, it's obvious to the eye. One found. Finally. Do you see it highlighted there? Let's do it again. None found at 0.001. Now we found one. And we have it highlighted here. You can choose fix and it'll fix it for you. Alright, let's go back to part design. And try the loft again. course, this one still does not have 5 sections. We need to add some more to it. Thought I might be able to cut that, but can't. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Must have missed the constraint on there too. Yep. So now we have our edges connected. Much fewer seam lines and much better control over how this shape is going to turn out. Now let me test that one with that one active. Alright, so this one, so more control when you put the same number of edges in each section. And we can switch to ruled surface. But notice it's deselected here. And we say okay, it's still going to be ruled surface. So we need to change it down here in the properties. And of course the closed, I think we already talked about, didn't we? If you had a bunch of sections and you wanted to make it one closed figure, one complete figure that folded around back on itself, setting this to true would mean that the last section connects back to the first. It won't do it right here because we don't have enough sections. Go back and watch the Mobius strip video to see an example of a case where we might have elected to use that closed option. But if I remember correctly, what I did in that case was cloned the first sketch and connected back to it with the last one. connected back to the clone with the last one. But I could have just used the close option instead. That was in part, wasn't it? Alright, well that's going to be it for this video. I think we've covered what we needed to cover for the loft operation. But thank you for watching. As always, have a great day.